coverage of any breaking or latest news in Zambia and around the world on Camnet television, call the numbers on your screen. Camnet television, bringing to your screens fair news, impartial news, credible and reliable news all the time. Get the whole truth on Camnet World News. Camnet television, not just another channel.
It's a beautiful Monday. Welcome to another exciting edition of The Lunch Cafe on Camnet TV. My name is Marco Kwakoze. This is the first Monday of the month of September, and we hope to bring you nothing but the best of what is happening around us in terms of news. Our reporters are on the ground and are giving us stories, and we will be highlighting what they are doing, and you expect those particular stories in our menus at 19:30 this particular evening. Now, apart from that, we are also going to be taking you way back into memory just to remind you of what used to happen in this beautiful country some years ago on this particular day, the 4th of September. What happened in 2021, what happened in 2020, and what happened in 2022 on the 4th of September. So we'll be taking you down that memory lane just to remind you of where we are coming from. We are also broadcasting live on our Facebook page, which is Camnet TV. So if you want to follow us via social media, you can go to that particular page and then like it, share it as well, and tell all your colleagues that we are live on that particular page. And also you can catch us live on our YouTube channel, which is Camnet TV as well. We are broadcasting to you live on DSTV channel 274 and 25 on GoTV, on Star Times, we on Topstar, we are on channel 106. Those are the platforms you can catch us on with this beautiful program. So as I said earlier, this program has a number of segments. We are going to be giving you stories as they are happening. We call that particular segment the Emerging Stories segment, and we'll also take you back into memory just to remind you of what used to happen. We call that the Forgotten Stories segment. But before we get into our first segment, which is the Emerging Stories segment, let's take a short break, and when we come back, we'll get straight into it.
Hey, join me, Amazing Katamanda, on the weekly gospel show for those exciting and interesting interviews with your favorite gospel
Hold on to me when it's too dark to see. You cannot put your power back to Hallelujah.
And this time around, we are bringing to you entertainment news and the countdown, as you guys are able to nominate your top 3 favorite music videos of the week. Remember, it's every Saturday at 10:45. You can also catch repeats every Monday at 10 hours. Camnet TV is not just another channel.
Get all the latest updates in court news only on Camnet TV. We take you and make you feel part of the court sessions through our in-depth coverage of the adjudication process. Get informed on those who have been arrested, delayed and denied the police bond or bail victims, persons taking plea, court adjournments, verdicts, and those administration issues in the judiciary. Camnet TV is on channel 274 on DSTV, channel 25 on GoTV, and find us on channel 106 on Topstar. You can also follow and give us a like on our social media platforms. Camnet TV, not just another channel. Get all the latest updates in court news only on Camnet TV. We take you and make you feel part of the court sessions through our in-depth coverage of the adjudication process. Get informed on those who have been arrested, delayed and denied the police bond or bail victims, persons taking plea, court adjournments, verdicts, and those administration issues in the judiciary. Camnet TV is on channel 274 on DSTV, channel 25 on GoTV, and find us on channel 106 on Topstar. You can also follow and give us a like on our social media platforms. Camnet TV, not just another channel. Get all the latest updates in court news only on Camnet TV. We take you and make you feel part of the court sessions through our in-depth coverage of the adjudication process. Get informed on those who have been arrested, delayed and denied the police bond or bail victims, persons taking plea, court adjournments, verdicts, and those administration issues in the judiciary. Camnet TV is on channel 274 on DSTV, channel 25 on GoTV, and find us on channel 106 on Topstar. You can also follow and give us a like on our social media platforms. Camnet TV, not just another channel. Get all the latest updates in
Welcome back. You are watching Camnet TV and this is the Lunchtime Cafe. Now let's get straight into the emerging stories. What is happening around us right now? Now the Zambia Must Prosper party leader Kelvin Fube says he and his party have officially withdrawn their support for the United Party for National Development, UPND. Now, Mr. Fube told the media briefing in Lusaka this morning that the UPND has failed to meet the expectations of the people of Zambia 2 years after being voted into office. Now, he says his party cannot continue to support UPND because they don't see light at the end of the tunnel. Let's have a look at this.
I'm here to officially withdraw our support of the UPND and the vote that we gave them. Hakainde Hichilema and the UPND and their lies have been exposed, and it is clear that the UPND and Hakainde Hichilema are politically and morally bankrupt. As the good book says, our Bible, in Proverbs chapter 29 verse 18, where there is no vision, people perish. When I realized that Hakainde Hichilema and the UPND had no vision, I left the alliance, and Zambia Must Prosper was born as a political party, not as a movement. I want to explain. We knew the logical thing to do, and that is to disengage. There is no bitterness in me. I think if you've listened to my interviews throughout my political career, I have never insulted this president. I have always called him my friend, and so he shall remain. But the lies have to be called out. I am now asking every Zambian to ask Hakainde Hichilema to resign for the following reasons. 1, failure to govern our country in a united fashion, as promised. This may seem very simple to some of you, but information reaching some of us is alarming, and we must call a spade a spade. Regionalism has reared its ugly head, and if we're not careful, we shall see certain parts of this country marginalized and certain people who come from certain tribes not being considered for promotion or for employment or for business opportunities. Bad decisions, bad policies have also characterized the UPND government. Implementation of controversial economic policies, even in the face of evidence that such policies won't work, is what Hakainde Hichilema keeps doing.
Thank you very much. So that was our first story in the Emerging Stories segment, and it is from the Zambia Must Prosper Party, who say they withdraw their support from the ruling UPND. Now, moving on, the ruling UPND Secretary General Batuka Imenda has charged that the opposition political parties in the country have failed to offer credible checks and balances. Mr. Imenda says the opposition is only striving on mistakes made by the ruling party without offering solutions. Now, he says his party is aware that the Zambian people are complaining about the cost of mini meal and that they are working to ensure that the problem is sorted out. Let's have a look at this.
What we are experiencing now is a group of people that have ganged up to choose who is the best person at insults, who can come out with the best insult against President Hakainde Hichilema, who can come out with an insult against Imenda. That is the opposition that we are experiencing. Tell me, what is it that are talking about in the agricultural sector that are promising the Zambian people in the agricultural sector? What is it in terms of schools or the social sector as a whole? What is it that are telling the nation? Zero. You are talking about minimum. Yes, we recognize and appreciate. We appreciate the concerns of our citizens. As a listening government, we have listened, like the president clearly alluded to as he was addressing the people in Mandevu. We are going to look into it. The same way we looked in the matter of fuel. There was an outcry, power outages. Within a short time we sat down. Today the issue of power outages belongs to the annals of history. Soon they will have nothing to talk about because the new Dawn government is busy coming out with ways and the means of controlling the price of minimum.
Thank you very much. That is another story that you expect to see at 19:30 this evening during our main news bulletin, talking about the opposition and the ruling party saying the opposition is not offering credible checks and balances. Now, over the weekend, there was a serious accident that happened in Wano district of the Central Province where 35 people lost their lives. 29 others were seriously injured and were hospitalized in Wano, 6 of which needed a specialized treatment and were evacuated to Lusaka this morning for that specialized treatment at the University Teaching Hospital. Now, the evacuation was done by the Flying Doctor Services. Let's have a look at this.
In the phase 2, and we're going to get in the next 2 sets to bring here one critical, one is critical.
So you said altogether, how many are the survivors? Those that are supposed evacuated. Yeah.
The ones we're evacuating are about 7 right now from Kushi.
Are you able to share the names with us?
So far, I know the ones what we brought is Francis Chewe and Rebecca Mulumba.
Which hospitals are they being taken to?
They are being taken to UTH.
And what time are you likely to touch down in the second patients?
So it will take us 50 minutes to Mokoshi and 50 minutes back. So that's 1 hour plus.
And you are bringing all of them at once?
Yes, we are bringing two. Yeah, yes. We are bringing 2, then we go back
for another 2.
The other 2.
Meanwhile, Citizens First Party says it is saddened by the accident that claimed 35 lives in Mboloma area of the Central Province. Now, party spokesperson Frank Sichone has since sent a message of condolences to the bereaved families.
I want to pass our sincere condolences to the bereaved families for the accident that happened in Mboloma area over the weekend, where over 32 lives were lost. These were young businessmen and women who were going for business, and in the process the vehicle was involved in an accident and many lives have been lost. So on behalf of President Hari Kalaba and on behalf of all the members of Citizens First Party and also on my own behalf, would like to send our sincere condolences to the bereaved families. And we also want to wish well or a quick recovery to all those who were injured in this same accident. We wish them a quick recovery.
So that's the sad development that comes from the weekend where there was a terrible accident that claimed lives. Now, let's move on. The next story says, as climate change continues to impact communities across the SADC region, the efforts to look at the effects with a gender bias are emerging as a prime concern. From droughts to floods to rising temperatures and erratic water patterns, these changes are affecting both men and women, but often in different ways. Let's have a look at this.
Climate change is affecting every country on every continent. However, women have continued to bear a significant burden of the impacts of climate change in the SADC region and globally. It is for this reason that the Center for Coordination of Agricultural Research and Development for Southern Africa, CADESA, convened a climate change and gender training for SADC decision makers. Climate change expert Dr. Noah Zimba from Zambia hinted that without addressing the knowledge gap among gender-responsive institutions, the vulnerability of women will continue to increase.
We're extremely vulnerable as a hub, as a region, because the support systems for livelihoods are largely dependent on rain-fed and smallholder production activities. So now, in terms of what that means in a real sense, it means the lens of gender and as a nexus with climate change becomes very important, because the gender scenario or segregation introduces that the impacts of climate change affects this gender profile differently. Our women, our children, the elderly, the disabled, they are being impacted in an amazing way that raises now the urgency for action.
And civil society organizations from the region also added their voice to this noble call.
Africa is not really food insecure. We just need to change our way of doing things for us to be able to achieve what we feel we want, as long as we know what we really want and what we're willing to do with it.
If we worked together in fighting climate change, then we'll be able to win. This problem is created by human beings and not God. Therefore, it's human beings who are supposed to come up with solutions and try address or try to clean the mess that they have created.
Women at the back, but men and women working together side by side.
Reporting from Johannesburg, South Africa, I'm Dorcas Kabuya.
Now, the Opposition Patriotic Front says the tour of the president to various compounds around Lusaka is a sign of desperation. Acting PF Media Director Edwin Lifwekelo says the PF is surprised that the president has taken it upon himself to be launching projects such as boreholes around the city. Mr. Lifwekelo says such projects can be handled by the local authorities. Let's have a look at this.
As Patriotic Front that the President has found it fit to commission and smaller projects which are meant to be undertaken by local government, including the Ministry of Water Development, the Minister himself, Permanent Secretary, including other line ministries that have the responsibility to ensure that minimum projects that are not actually capital projects are undertaken by institutions that have been designated to deal with issues of water, to deal with issues of boreholes, to deal with issues of sanitation. What we are seeing from President Hakainde Hichilema is a sign of desperation. I think that the people, the handlers of President Hakainde Hichilema haven't done, seriously speaking, due diligence in order to manage some of these tours which the President has undertaken. You have also noticed that the trips slowly but surely are dwindling because the feedback coming from the community, from the communities which has been toured by the President, the feedback has been so negative that the people have realized that the people really on the ground are upset because of the high cost of living. You cannot underestimate the thinking of the Zambians currently to think about what this government has done in terms of addressing the many fundamental economic issues vis-a-vis escalating high prices of mealie meal, issues of fuel, which was just recently increased. So what you are seeing is something backfiring on the president with regards to, I know he wanted to test the waters to see how popular he is, whether the 2.8 million are still intact. I can tell you from where I'm sitting that that number, from the very number of praise singers that we have seen withdrawing their support on President Hakainde Hichilema, gives you an indication that the people of Zambia, who are the final jury, have moved on President Hakainde Hichilema.
Thank you very much. So that is what we had for you on the Emerging Stories segment. And now these are the stories that we expect to see at 19:30 in detail at 19:30 during our main news bulletin. So do make sure that you don't miss that particular bulletin which comes at 19:30. Stay tuned to channel 274 on DSTV and channel 106 on Topstar, and not forgetting channel 25 on Go TV. Those are the platforms that you can catch us on if you want to watch that particular bulletin. And also we are live on our Facebook page, which is Camnet TV. We are broadcasting live on that particular page, and you will get to hear the details of those particular hints that we gave you in the Emerging Stories segments. Now, moving on, we get into a segment that we call the Forgotten Stories segment. Now, in this particular segment, we take you back into memory just to remind you of what used to happen, what stories used to make headlines on this very day in the year 2020, 2021, and of course 2022, just to refresh our memories. So we have selected quite a number of stories for you to refresh your memory and just remind you of where we are coming from. Let's have a look at this.
Currently undertaking or conducting the GCE examinations together with the grade 9 external examinations. So far everything is going on well, but working with the Zambia Police, we've undertaken an intensive monitoring exercise, and from this exercise we've managed to apprehend 20 people for forgery and impersonation. So during the examinations we found some candidates with fake NRCs sitting for exams on behalf of other candidates. And this operation has been undertaken in 9 schools in Lusaka and northwestern and eastern provinces. And some of the schools include Nyenyezi Secondary School, Diana Kaimba, Roma St. Paul's, we have North Mead, we have Kaula Day in Eastern Province, and Chavuma Day in Northwestern Province. And all the suspects are aged between 20 and 46 years of age, have been put in police custody, and investigations are still underway. And as Examinations Council of Zambia, we want to ensure that exams are conducted in a smooth manner, and we are protecting the integrity of the education system in Zambia. So we are working tirelessly with law enforcement agencies to ensure that anyone who is perpetrating malpractice is brought to book. The NRCs that we found with these candidates have been tampered with. This is where the picture on the NRC has been removed and replaced with another one of that candidate who is coming to sit for an exam on behalf of the original candidate. So this is how we are detecting that the NRC has been tampered with and someone is trying to sit for an examination on behalf of another candidate.
Zambia, like most third world countries, has many struggles. The last 5 years have been characterized with reports of hospitals lacking medicine, high unemployment rates, and heightened levels of poverty due to an increase in the cost of living. At the peak of these struggles, alleged Patriotic Front PF cadres took to social media displaying colossal sums of money. This caused outrage from many sectors of society.
walipera ba minister ndanga na umona favorite sunga leo kwatike pansana yo ya shani yo manje ya oyambeyo turala pandala mai na umona kumona ifikwiri kwete
people with money, Jeff Brown. All the way from Kabwata. Bakambole. Bakalingalinga, show us. Show us.
Caritas Zambia Director Mr. Eugene Kabilika states that these cadres should be investigated in order to determine the source of funding.
Before the 2021 August elections, let me say on the run-up to the elections, we saw a lot of cadres that were displaying money, and we literally like mocking Zambians that they had a lot of money. They spread it on their mattresses, on their sitting rooms, and play around with the money in their cars and all that. The big question was, where was that money coming from? So I think that Zambians need answers to that, because those cadres were seen on videos that they were sent on social media. So it is easy to track them and to follow them, so that you ask them the simple question of where the source of the money that they were displaying was coming from. If you compare this with the lack of medicine in hospitals, inability by the government to employ medical workers, and also to employ teachers.
He further asked that few individuals should not be allowed to benefit at the expense of majority citizens, saying all sectors of society should be investigated to ensure that money acquired through dubious means is repaid to the country. Zipporah Mushala, Camnet News, Lusaka.
The Bank of Zambia, in a statement issued Saturday, 4th September 2021, says it has noted an unprecedented rise in demand for cash countrywide during the past few months. The demand has been more than the expected seasonal increase in demand for currency during the crop marketing season and the general elections. The bank has since appealed to members of the general public to utilize alternative payment methods to cash, such as digital financial service, in conducting transactions. This, however, does not provide a lasting solution to the challenge of cash shortage and explain the reason why there is a shortage of cash in the country. In a statement with economist Chibamba Kanyama, Mr. Kanyama says the current cash shortage might be due to the fact that some individuals are keeping monies in their homes and not taking it to the bank so that it can be pumped back into the economy.
All the Bank of Zambia has done is to more or less like say they recognize there's a problem. And I've just given a hint as to what could have caused the problem. But their solution is that we should use the electronic system for transacting so that we don't handle cash. However, the money is not there because people have it in their homes. People have it somewhere buried or somewhere. You know, to me, there should be a moral suasion, what we call the moral persuasion, to show people that bring money back into the system, wherever you are keeping it, let it go back into the banking system. That is the message we should be hearing now, because just saying transact using electronic system is not enough. The money is not in the banking system. People are keeping it. Why are they keeping it?
Mr. Kanyama adds that the bank needs to compel those who might be keeping monies in their homes to take it back to the financial institutions.
To me, the solution is that the way. Number one, do what the Bank of Zambia has said now. Let the people transact using electronic system, which is okay, but it is not enough. It doesn't solve the problem, because the problem is people are keeping money away from the banking system. They are keeping it in their homes. Maybe others have buried the money. No. So the Bank of Zambia should start persuading people, telling them that it is illegal to keep a lot of money into your homes. It's not right.
Zambia has reported cases of members of the public keeping monies at their homes, and history might be repeating itself, hence the need for relevant authorities to investigate the matter swiftly. Prudence Chota, reporting for Camnet TV News.
First of all, the country does not belong only to the educated. We need to understand one thing. Even these so-called cadres, they are human beings that needs to be incorporated or integrated in this society. So if you know that you can't reason with them on the paper, what can you reason them with? Because they're in the streets because they want to make money. It caters again to empowerment. So how can this government harness the situation? One thing is giving an ear to these people. I would love to see a government that's going to be interacting with the people other than just going to send them out. Can they cooperate with the councils? Can they have meetings with these cadres? What do we want? How can we empower you? Because these people that are on the streets have been collecting 10 kwachas from people, and I've heard sections of people saying, no, UPF is out now, they are UPND cadres. That should not be entertained anyway. And we do not say that when you say remove cadres, that means that now these are people that no, discard them or they are useless in society. No, they are very much useful to society, because if you don't harness the situation very well, there are people that now go into the houses and break homes of people and go into theft because they've got nothing literally to do. So I'm looking forward to how the government is going to address this issue, but one of the issues or the first step is to dialogue. Can they make a structure, even through councils, on how they can bring these people on board, interact with them, ask them what they want, then they can see how.
Currently, only 30% of the children that we have in primary school can proceed to secondary education because those are the places we have. Therefore, we have a challenge of expanding secondary education to ensure that we have as many children as possible transition from grade 9 to grade 10. That is where we have really a huge problem.
And then how best can we improve the quality at primary education, seeing that currently the qualifications end at diploma level?
Well, the current problem that we have, of course, we know that the challenges of quality that we have now require a lot of investment, especially in foundational skills, in terms of literacy and numeracy. The way we can change things and how others have done in some countries, for instance, is that the most qualified teachers should be given to teach the lowest grades, because that's where it matters the most. If children do not get the foundational skills, then they will have a problem. And this is what is happening in countries where they have improved their education system, like Japan, for instance. You find that the most intelligent teachers are given to teach grade 1. And that way you'll be able to ensure that the grade 1 pupils are given a solid foundation to continue performing well across the other grades.
One might mistake this to rainy season or a broken water pipe causing the flow of water in the community, but alas, far from what it looks like. This is sewer water from a blocked sewer system in Lusaka's Helen Kaunda area, which has been posing serious health hazard to community members in the area for almost a week now. Those spoken to have told this reporter that the problem is not new in the area but has been reoccurring. Kelvin Watalasha, a resident, has told Camnet News that the community has on several occasions engaged the Lusaka Water and Sewerage Company on the matter, but that no permanent solution has been found so far, and says the onset of the rain season is likely to cause serious problems.
So try to actually engage our community leaders like the councillor, and is nowhere to be seen. So as you can see, this water which is here, this is sewer, and it's really affecting, it's smelly, and at the same time, this is a source of, diseases like cholera. The children here, they are really affected. And sometimes when you're driving in, even the water actually goes in the gate.
Other residents have also accused their local leaders, such as the area Member of Parliament Mike Imposha, who is also Minister of Water Development and Sanitation, of failing them, as they say he is nowhere to be seen whenever community members want to engage him on matters that affect them.
These guys were campaigning, going through door to door, is the same way that they should be checking up on their people even after winning elections, because these are problems that are silent to them because they are now in offices that are air conditioned and they don't feel these problems. We are the people that are feeling these problems. If you can see right next to me here, there's a shop. And this shop sells groceries and foodstuffs, and there are some foods that are already prepared, like fritters, which are supposed to be opened. And so the combination of the two is actually a healthy hazard. And so a lot of people are getting to be sick. Food poisoning, bacteria on foodstuffs is because of such.
Like most of the times I see lots of school kids passing by and they get to be affected by this water. Us the adults, we can cover ourselves by anything as much as we can, but the kids don't know how to prevent this, and they just some kind of like passing. Some even kids, they even play in the water. So that is a very bad thing. They can even, like take some diseases and cholera, if I can say. So this is a very bad situation that has to be seen.
And area councillor Boniface Chibeka, when contacted for a comment, told this reporter that he has tried to contact the sewerage company over the matter, but that they have not been responding to his requests.
And the matter has been reported to Lusaka Water and Sewerage by 3 different individuals who are even carrying some reference numbers, but on one incident. But up to now, it has not been resolved, and it's actually going into a week. And I've been trying to contact Lusaka Water and Sewerage, but of course to no avail, even if there's even a platform for councillors to report such things, which I have reported 3 days ago. Up to now, nothing is being done.
And when contacted for a comment, Lusaka Water and Sewerage Company Public Relations Manager Nshamba Mzungu told this reporter that the matter will be followed up in the course of the week. We will, however, continue to follow up the matter to its logical conclusion. Prudence Chota, reporting for Camnet TV News.
Thank you very much. Welcome back. So those are some of the stories that we picked for you that we thought we should remind you on as regards what was happening on this very day a few years ago in 2021, in 2020, and of course in 2022 on this very day. So those are the stories we call the forgotten stories, just to refresh our memories as regards where we are coming from. Now let's quickly look at some of the results of the games that were played over the weekend. There was quite a number of games that were being played in the English Premier League, in the Zambian League, in the French League, in the Spanish La Liga, and in the German Bundesliga. There were a number of games that were being played that we're going to pick just a few of those games that were played in those particular leagues, just to share with you how those particular games went. Now, the first one we are going to look at is the game between Red Arrows and Forest Rangers, which was played in Ndola, and the game was a new or draw, as no team could find the back of the net to claim the 3 points in Ndola at the Levi Monawasa Stadium, as Forest Rangers was hosting Red Arrows. And other interesting games in the local league, you do make sure that you join Amos as he brings to you the sports program, so that you are tuned in and get to know what is happening in the world of Zambian football and of course other leagues. One interesting result that came through yesterday was the game between Manchester United and Arsenal. The game played in London. A lot of talking points in that particular game. Arsenal beating Manchester United by 3-1, but Manchester United at one point, you feel, were robbed of their second goal when they were supposed to go 2-1 up. But unfortunately, VAR gave Arsenal an offside. Very, very debatable indeed offside. There were lines that were drawn, but still the naked eye is not convinced. Most of the people still feel that it was unfortunate that the offside was given, but that's football for you. But they did go ahead to score. Arsenal did go ahead to score 2 more goals, and it ended 3-1 in favor of Arsenal. Unfortunate for Manchester United. Moving on, another game, interesting game that was played in the English Premier League was Brighton and Newcastle United. Brighton beating Newcastle in that particular game. Newcastle seemingly becoming a force to reckon with, but unfortunately they met Brighton and they went down in that particular game. So those are just some of the results. You might also want to learn that our boxer Loretta Musea is in London, and she was fighting over the weekend. Unfortunately, she lost by 54 points to 60 when she fought English boxer there. She sustained a cut and the match had to be stopped. Because of the cut, the doctor said Musea could not continue. The fight was stopped, and the points indicated that the English boxer was leading, and it was a 9-title fight, and Musea lost out on that particular one. So those are some of the results that came from the weekend. But remember that you can join Amos with the detailed stories of sports and of course the results in other leagues. Now on that particular note, we come to the end of today's Lunchtime Cafe. Do not forget to join us again tomorrow as we bring to you another interesting program. On behalf of the entire production team, my name is Marco Kwakozi. Have a blessed afternoon.